Hello, my name is Emily Crow from Crochet Creations, and I am here today to share with you my gift make 9 list for 2022. Welcome if you are new here. I'm so happy you're here, and if you are coming back, then I am so glad to have you back again. You might know I have a couple other Make 9 lists that I've come up with this year, different goals of 9 items or 9 categories of things that I want to make as part of my goals for knitting and crochet in 2022. So those lists, I'll make sure to link them down below as well as up in the card. I have my traditional Make 9 list of the top 9 items I want to make. And in that list, I also have 9 honorable mentions. So it's actually 18 items that I kind of hope that I get a chance to make throughout the year. And then I also have another list. This one is called my Stash Make 9 list. I'm really working hard to attack my stash and to work through the old yarn that I acquired that doesn't necessarily inspire me or that I don't quite know what to do with right now. And so I have a list of 9+ items that I would like to make with that stash yarn so I can whittle through my older yarn, pare down my yarn stash, and really only have in my stash the things that inspire me and make me want to be creative. So I have those Make 9 lists, and so this is another video with my gift Make 9 list. And I know it is February. It has taken me a little while to come up with a list that I was really happy with. I really wanted to be thoughtful about the things that I make in general this year, but especially gifts. I have a lot of knit-worthy people in my family and people that I would love to make things for outside of my family, but I want to not just, make everyone dishcloths and throw dishcloths at everybody, because that might not be as helpful or useful or appreciated considering the amount of time and effort that goes into it. And so rather than doing something like that, I wanted to make really intentional plans for intentional gifts for the people that I love in my family. So this is my gifts make 9 list, finally, that I would love to share with you. Another reason I guess it's taken a little while is because I traditionally am a very selfish knitter, because I know what I like and what inspires me. So it's really easy to make things for myself. And I really want to be better about making things for other people because I love being able to give them a handmade gift, especially these people who support me and love me. I want to show my love to them in that way. I am definitely still being kind of selfish this year, and that is totally okay. It is 100% okay to be a selfish knitter. But I also want to make sure to make time to make things for other people, because I love how it feels to infuse my love in the time and effort it takes to make something handmade for my family. And as I've become more and more confident in my skills and am more certain that I can make something that I am proud to give to someone else, that I want to do that. So that's one of my goals for this year. So let's get started. I've got my laptop. I'll make sure to pop up a picture here, and I'll leave all the information down below. I'll try not to use Ravelry links if I can find other links to find these patterns, but there may be some Ravelry links if I can't find alternatives. First up, the Fox's Day Out Socks by Stone Knits. This pattern is so fun. I noticed it a few months ago, and I immediately thought of my husband. So he, for some reason, loves foxes. He thinks they're really, really cute, and it's cute watching him think they're cute. So we may watch a little video on YouTube with some foxes in it, and it just makes him happy. We cloth diaper my daughter, and so he loves putting the fox print diaper on my daughter. He just loves foxes. And so these socks are perfect because it's got the cute fox detail near the cuff, but then it's got a couple other less noticeable colorwork elements. So it is an all over colorwork sock pretty much, but it's not super intense. These would be really fun to work on for him. I would need to pick the colors to make sure that'd be something he would enjoy. But I think he would really love these socks because he loves foxes so much. And it just makes my heart happy thinking of what his face will look like when he gets surprised with a pair of socks with foxes on them. Like, so cute. So that's definitely something for my husband. And I've already made him a couple pairs of socks, so I've got a pretty good idea of what fits him as far as sizing wise, and so I feel pretty good about being able to do a pair of socks like this for him. The next thing I have, and this is kind of overarching vague, and this list is not in any order of like when I'm gonna make it or my favorites or anything like that, so it's all over the place. I didn't even categorize by who it's for or anything, so totally random. These are basically the ideas that came up in my head in the order that came up. This next one, I need to get some resources to show you what I'm thinking. Okay, I'm back. So if you are in the Amigurumi community, then there are definitely some big players in the design world, and one of them is Lauren Espy of A Menagerie of Stitches, and she's got so many cute patterns, and I'll show you. Her first book ever was Whimsical Stitches, which is also my first crochet book that I ever got. It's got all sorts of little cute guys and the cute little faces. She has another book that recently came out. I say recently, but it might have been 2020, so like almost 2 years now. That's crazy. It's been a long time. The past 2 years have been kind of a weird blur. Anyway, so Crochet Cafe is another recent book of hers, and I really love the style of these foods, especially because it's not just the traditional make some fruits and piece of bread, but there's some really interesting meals. There's falafel and lobster and cheesecake and Chinese food. Lots of really interesting meal type foods. I already made some grilled cheese and tomato soup out of here because that's my favorite. And there's so many other things to make, but it doesn't just stop there. Because I love her patterns and I really want to get back into making more amigurumi, but I have purchased over the years her 100 Days of Mini Amigurumis. I have all 3 of them. There are 3 volumes, so there are 300 small patterns in here of mini things, and this is just like the coolest flat lay, but look, there's so many different items. And not just foods and stuff. All that, I have literally 5 books by A Menagerie of Stitches. All that to show you that I would love to make some amigurumi food for my daughter, Georgia. She is, right now, she's 15 months old, which is crazy. She is learning and growing every day. It's so cool to see her grow in her independence and see what she really likes and what is fun for her. And I would love to make some food to put in her play kitchen that we got her for Christmas. We don't have a lot. Like I said, I have like some grilled cheese and I have tomato soup. I have a couple eggs and like a carrot. I don't know, a couple random things I've made, but I really want to spend some time making her some food, and I don't have a set plan for what I want to make. But I have lots of resources, as well as I think maybe even a couple patterns I've collected over the past few years of things I've wanted to make. And so I will be making her quite a bit of food. I need to go through my acrylic yarn stash and see what colors I have and what things I can make with what I already have, and then we'll go from there. I'm not necessarily going to make a wide spread of like all different types of foods. Mostly it'll be based on what I have in my yarn stash and what patterns I already have. I'm going to try really hard to make things that my daughter loves. Like, she loves pizza, so I really want to make sure I make some pizza. Some ice cream is one of her favorites. Things that I already know she likes, like apples and whatnot. That is the next thing. It's kind of a general thing. Lots of food for my daughter. So I want to get started on that because there's so many different options and things that I can make for her. Another project I want to make for my daughter, and this is a pattern that I made sure to snag as soon as I saw. It's by Roro and Kades. It is the Moon Glade dress, and it is so cute. There's like this little lace detail on the sleeve and then near the hem. So it's a fairly simple dress, but also kind of elevated. I think this would be beautiful to make for my daughter. Unfortunately, she has a gajillion dresses right now, so I don't really want to make her another dress in the size she's wearing, but I think this will be one of the first things I make for the next size up so that she can grow into it, so that when she's grown out of all the dresses she's wearing right now, she'll have something really nice to grow into. This dress, it's a fingering weight dress, and it's just really cute. I fell in love with it when I first saw it, like I said, and I'm really excited to make this for Georgia. It would be really nice to have it for like an Easter dress or for like her birthday or even Christmas. Probably it'll be closer to the end of the year so that she can size up into 2T by the time she needs to wear it. I think that's the plan. I don't have the yarn necessarily for it, but I have lots of fingering weight yarn in my stash, and I'm always on the lookout for some beautiful skeins, so we shall see what I come up with. And another thing for Georgia. Georgia's my daughter, and it's so easy to want to make things for her because one, she's small, and so things work up really quickly if I make them for her. I love her so much, and so it's really easy to want to make things for her. So next thing for her, and then things will get a little bit more interesting, I promise. Next thing for her, I actually want to make her some doll clothes. She has a baby doll. She doesn't necessarily love on it to death or anything, but I think it'd be really fun, especially to make something that she and her doll match in. So whether that's making a baby love note, because I've made her a love note already, or the thing that I found. Petite Knit has an entire ebook full of different doll patterns. It's super cool that you can make you can make yourself and your daughter's doll all matching outfits if you really wanted to, because Petite Knit has sizing for all those different things. And even there's some menswear that are similarly styled to some of her women's patterns. And so anyway, it's really cool, and I really love the idea of matching, and so I would love to make Georgia something, but especially make her doll something too. And as she gets older, she'll get more and more interest in her doll, because she already loves putting the binky in and out of its mouth, and I just see her getting more and more interested in that kind of pretend play. Doll clothes would be really, really cool, and I think this ebook is a really great way to do that. The next pattern that I want to make, I haven't made my husband a lot of things, mostly because he's very particular about what he wears, but not in like an exclusive or like snobby kind of way. The things that he likes are very casual, very comfy, just a certain color palette. He's a very simple guy, I guess, and so a lot of knitwear is not necessarily his taste, but I really want to make him something like a sweater or a cardigan. And I talked to him about it, and he actually told me that he would like something and he'd probably wear it to church on Sunday. So we talked a lot about what kind of look he would want, what kind of texture of the fabric, what kind of color potentially, whether it would want to be a pullover or cardigan or what. So we have a plan, and we came up with something that he likes. And this isn't my top choice from the choices I gave him, but this one is pretty nice. And so I'll probably make this cardigan for him first, and then maybe next year I'll make the other one that I like visually better. But it is for him, so I'm gonna make what he prefers most, even though he said either would be fine, but this is the one he prefers. It's called Viking by Storey, and it's got this cool, I'm assuming it's not actually like patchwork, that it's all worked together, but there's some cool texture. There's some smaller textured squares with an X, large cable almost, and then other squares with just a textured stitch on it. There's a small shawl collar. He wouldn't even necessarily want buttons or pockets on it. We talked about it, and I think I would make some kind of a blue shade. He said tan would work too. He has a couple gray sweaters, so I won't make gray. It'll be either tan or blue. I'm leaning towards blue since there is lots of blue in his closet, and I'm not quite sure the yarn I will use, but it looks so nice. I'm so excited to make him a sweater. I think that'll be something really special. I'll make it probably for Christmas, maybe for his birthday, which is a little sooner, but probably for Christmas. Be something really special that I'll put lots and lots of time and love into. Okay, so the next one, I'm moving into the realm of accessories and socks. I started knitting in 2021 because I wanted to learn to knit socks, and then I fell in love with it. So I've really enjoyed making many, many pairs of socks. This last year for Christmas, I made myself, my daughter, and my husband all different Christmas socks. And they didn't really match. There was a couple colors that worked in multiple socks, but we all had socks that we opened on Christmas Eve and we got to wear with our Christmas pajamas, and that was really an awesome tradition. I loved it. I love being able to do that, and so I want to do that again this year, but I want to make sure that our socks match more cohesively, probably by using the same yarn or similar styles. Maybe my husband and I will have matching socks, and my daughter will have the same yarn but a different pattern, since not all patterns come in toddler and adult sizes. So I want to make Christmas Eve socks for my little family of 3, and so I want to keep that tradition alive. I've loved doing that. It can be easy to want to make socks for every holiday. I'm not there right now, but I really do want to make some Christmas Eve socks. Speaking of Christmas, I want to make socks for, I wrote down literally everybody. My husband is one of 5 kids. His youngest sister is not married, but his other siblings are all married and starting to have kids. And so family is expanding rapidly. On my side of the family, I'm one of 3, and we're the only ones with kids, but there's still people, even though they're not exponentially increasing, thank goodness, because it's hard to keep track of people. I really want to make sure to make socks for everyone. I don't know if I can hit my entire everybody family, but I think I can hit my parents and my brothers, and then maybe my husband's parents, my in-laws, maybe some of his siblings. I'm not quite sure, but I would love to, for Christmas, get some socks made for everybody. I made some DK weight socks for my grandparents, and I'll insert a picture or 2 here. I didn't get a picture when they were finished. That's my fault. But I made some DK weight socks, and I finished 2 pairs of socks in 5 days, which is crazy. So I might turn to DK white socks for my family members because they live in Utah and New York, so both colder places, so they could use some thicker socks. So I might do that. But they probably would just be a basic sock, nothing too fancy, but maybe pick a color that they like. Maybe I'll get some Knit Picks yarn or patterns or something like that. Unless there's a hand-dyed yarn that really calls to me that would fit this other person that I'm gonna make for. But I think I'll probably, just for simplicity, order lots of yarn from Knit Picks or something, and then I'll kind of pick colors as I feel inspired and be like, who would like a purple pair of socks? I will make this pair for so-and-so. Something like that. Maybe I'll get a pack of Felici sock yarn so that I can kind of pick and choose who gets what yarn. I'm not quite sure, but I definitely want to prioritize making socks for everyone since I'm getting better and better about sock fits and fitting them for other people. That is definitely something I want to do. I mentioned how my siblings-in-law are having kids, and one of my sisters-in-law, she is going to have her first baby, a boy, this summer, and I'm so excited for them, and I thought it would be really special to make a newborn set for them. So I'm thinking maybe a newborn hat, a bib, a pacifier clip, maybe a little blankie, but probably stay away from that since I know I got a lot of handmade blankets for my baby shower and stuff when I clearly don't need any because I can make them. And some of them are definitely really special that I love, but some of them are not necessarily very sentimental or meaningful to me. I don't want to give them another handmade blanket because I'm sure they will get lots and lots. And her sister also knits and crochets, so I think I'll do something, you know, like a pacifier clip, a bib, a hat, some things that would really be cute together and be useful, but also wouldn't necessarily be a one and done. She'll only need one of those things. She'll need many, so it's okay if I give her some and someone else gives her some. So I think I might do something like that. Oh, a pair of socks. Yes, for the new baby, because the baby socks knit up so fast. So I haven't quite narrowed down what I want to do, but I definitely want to do something along those lines. And it depends on what colors or themes she may want to do for her baby for the nursery, or just in general, like if there's anything that she's drawn to. I'm gonna kind of wait a few more months to see, and then I'm gonna get started on that little bundle project for the little bundle of joy. And then last but not least, I wish I had some extra ideas that I wanted to share, but it was really hard coming up with 9 things in general. But the last thing I want to make is a Musselburgh hat for my husband. This pattern is by Ysolda Teague, and it's a really popular basic hat pattern that basically you knit a giant tube with increases on one side, decreases on the other, and then fit it inside itself to make a double layer beanie. Really basic, but also really warm. It's kind of like a vanilla sock. It's a vanilla hat. I really want to make one for myself. I have yarn I want to use to make one for myself, and my husband doesn't wear hats hardly ever, but we are in California, so there's not as much of a need. But we're hoping to move at the end of this year somewhere colder, hopefully back to Utah. We shall see. But if we were to move somewhere colder, then he would more likely need a hat for, you know, if we were going to be outside for a long time, if he was shoveling snow outside, whatever. Even if he's not a hat person, he will need a hat at least a little bit. And so I think the Musselburgh would be a really great choice to make for him. I can easily find a single skein of yarn that I think would suit his tastes, and then make a hat out of that and give him a gift that he will use and probably keep forever since he won't wear it out or anything. So that's what I would love to make for him. There is my gift make 9 list, and I feel like this was pretty concise compared to some of my other lists because my list is really just 9 items, and mostly it's for my daughter and my husband, though there are a couple things that we'll give to others. I have other friends that I would like to make socks for. That's kind of why I'm thinking maybe getting like a sock value pack from Knit Picks might be the way to go for that. I do want to get better at making gifts for the people I love, because spending that time and that energy and my talents to share with them for something that I know that they will love and use just brings me a lot of joy, and I think is a perfect expression of love for them. So that is something I really want to make time for this year. Thank you so much for being here and for watching this video. Let me know down below if you have made any of these projects or if any of these are items that you want to make for people that you love. I would love to hear about different other gifts that you make. I think mostly I just don't know what to make for the people I love, and I would make everybody sweaters if I knew what kind of sweater they wanted. Let me know down below if there are any specific patterns that you go to for any of your gift make. I will see you next time. Bye.